Mrs. Rants. I'm back with another video. I hope you can tell by the title, I'm just going to talk about senioritis. And it's not just for teens, it is senioritis as it pertains to the parents. Yes, yes. I have a senior. You can see his cap and gown are hanging up behind me. He's graduating. Senioritis just doesn't only affect him, it's affecting the entire family. And I wanted to share some tips that I have as far as the send-off and what you can do inside your home to kind of make it a little bit smoother of a transition. We don't have it all figured out by any means, but I still thought I would share in case there's someone else that is in the same situation as us. First of all, excuse me, my eyes are puffy because my allergies are like going crazy right now. So you can see I have like puffy dark circles because my eyes are itching, they're watery, you know, so I'm just taking the Benadryl and rolling with the punches. You'll also hear noise outside because I tried to wait it out for the guys that are doing the landscaping, but I'm losing daylight and I thought, you know what, I can't wait any longer. I want to go ahead and film this video for you. So then please excuse the noises in the background. I'll do my best to talk over it. But I wanted to start off by saying when your kids age out, it's a big transition for your entire family. So the more you can do together really does make a difference. So the first thing I want to talk about is communication. And that means talking to the kids as much as possible. We have all teenagers at this point. So it's a little bit more difficult to get them all. I mean, everybody's kind of moving around in different directions. So it's kind of hard to herd them sometimes, but we definitely are trying to do that more and more because we know that these times are very precious and very sweet to us and they don't last forever. And so family dinners you can have together, going to sporting events together, going to museums or galleries, doing something simple like a board game at home. We actually recently started playing a different board game. It's new to the whole family, but everybody's enjoying it. So things like that. Just really spending time together as much as possible and having as many conversations as possible. The other thing is interjecting ourselves into their lives by way of being involved in the process. And what I mean by that is, hey, what colleges are you applying to? How can I help? Do you need me to do this? Do you need me to do that? How can I come alongside you? You know, are there any things you have questions about? Because we've been there before. As much information as we can share with them, it kind of will make their go at it a little bit smoother than how we had it years ago. So we always try to share with them things like that. We try to be a part of the process, not to the point of overbearing, if that makes sense, but really just to the point of trying to share with them and encourage them, which also goes back to the communication aspect. And let me just tell you, if you can't get through to your teen verbally, text them. They love texting. I don't know what it is, but they love texting, and you can kind of go back and reread some of those texts to have a fond kind of time just remembering those conversations. And it doesn't make it any less personal over text messaging. And if it begins to be intense, you can say, hey, can we talk about this face to face? And take them to lunch. Go on a date with your teen and say, hey, let's go hang out and let's talk about it. So lastly, and this one is not as big as the other two as far as being part of their lives and communicating, but this one is sending them off with something to remember you by. And I don't mean like with a sense of finality the way it sounds, but it's more or less send them off with something that makes them gaze and think of you. And what I mean by that is I found 2 pieces of art that I'm sending with CJ because he is going to be moving into an apartment here soon. And we have things going so fast with prom and then graduation and all that. So I know that I want to give him something that's going to make him look and think, oh, my mom gave me that. So I want to call her. I know you guys have seen the Keurig commercial where the lady gives her son a coffee maker and he sees the coffee maker and he thinks about her and he calls her, and it's like give a gift that they'll always remember kind of thing. And so I wouldn't be as silly as that, but I do know that these 2 things that I purchased for him, I'm going to show them to you by the way, these things are going to make him think of me and some of our conversations and our times together. But it could be something small. It could be a piece of jewelry. It could be a locket with a picture. It could be, if you've got a daughter, you know, like some kind of something special that you've shared with her, whether it's like, oh, you know, we have matching bathrobes or matching slippers, or just, it could be anything that you find meaningful that means something to the two of you together. So CJ's an artist, so I decided to get him something that was artistic. I had met an artist at an event and he was selling his prints, and I was thinking like, man, these are great. I really enjoy them. I'm going to leave his information in the description box for you if you want to check out his art. If you're in the DC area, definitely check him out. But if you're not in the area, you can always go on the website and you can order prints, I believe, through the website. But I got the art show prices, so I spent $10 for these prints, and they're a fairly decent size. I would guess they're probably around 5 by 7. And they do have a mat around them. They're in a plastic protective coating because I have not yet framed them, but I am going to show them to you anyway. The first one I got is this one, and this is just one of those, it's just very moving to look at, and I like the way the colors, the mix of colors really kind of gives you a feeling behind it, and I thought that's something that my son would enjoy. And this one kind of reminds me of Trayvon Martin, because this, you know, this gentleman has a hood and it's kind of over his eyes, but he has this face of just being still, and it kind of made me think about my teenage son. He doesn't look like he's moved by things, but I know that he is, so I thought this would be a really cool picture to hang. So I'm going to put frames on both of these and hang them up when he moves in. But yeah, I just wanted to send him off with a little something to remember me by, or to think of me fondly, and that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, just because he's out of the house does not mean we won't be texting him and calling him and speaking to him and visiting him. So if you're watching this, CJ, we are coming to visit you. So it's one of those things where it's just a bittersweet time. I'm very proud of him. I'm very excited for him that it's like a new chapter in his life, but at the same time, it's kind of rough when you realize that, you know, this baby that you carried and raised is going on to be, you know, a man. So it'll be interesting. It's a lot of different things are going to be changing in our household here in the next, you know, couple of months or so. But this one is a big one because, you know, I just love him so much, and I want to make sure that he has a good send-off and that he knows that he has family that loves him and cares for him, and this is always home for him. So that's about all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got, you know, teenagers and you are doing some things, please by all means share them in the comments below. If you're an empty nester and, you know, maybe it was a struggle for you, I don't feel like it's a struggle as much as it is just a bittersweet time. So we'll be praying for him. We'll be thinking about him often and fondly, and I'm looking forward to seeing him wear this here cap and gown and graduate. And I'm also looking forward to prom, which I hope to vlog. So we got it ahead of all you do, and I'll see you guys on the next video.